What weapon is that? Well, you don't see the weapon yet. But we're using the Amygdalan arm, and we're wearing the Harrowed set, which is Simon's set. You get it from the DLC. It's Mac's new game. We're going to go through, we're going to smash every single boss in the main game and the DLC, and we'll probably play Sekiro after the fact. It's not really, there's not so much builds in Bloodborne, in my opinion, as so much weapons. You know, you use a weapon. But it's Mac's new game. Our character stats are pretty even out. It's a quality build. 99 and everything. Everything is equalized. Everything's eventual. You beat Sword Saint Ishin today after weeks of trying without dying. Super stoked about it. Thanks for the supporting comments you bless us with to make these games even more enjoyable. I dedicate the fight to the Blood God. Eldritch, congrats. Sword Saint Ishin, I still remember beating him for the first time. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. Still, I think the best final boss, like true final boss, not really DLC included, but they knocked it out of the park with him, didn't they? You know what I can't wait to fight? That Resurrection mod, Sword Saint Ishin. I could only imagine what he's like. I still haven't been able to get past Owl. Maybe we'll try a little bit of that today. After, I don't need this. After mainline, we'll do mainline Sekiro, and then maybe we'll switch to the Resurrection mod. Towards the end of the stream, if we have time, go back to Owl, get our ass kicked for hours. Sounds good. Zeus was the reason I tried Bloodborne. Nice. Sekiro had so many great boss fights. It really does. Really does. People are crazy, though. Some people just don't like Sekiro. And I think it's just because they're not good at it, personally. The Erection Resurrection mod. That's what it'll be. Silicon Pit, how's it going, dude? Zeus, do you recommend hitting Mac's new game in Sekiro before doing a no Kuro's Charm run? No, I would recommend starting that up from the base game, man. I feel like doing Mac's new game, no Kuro's Charm would be brutal for your first time. Because one thing about Sekiro is everybody plays Sekiro in easy mode. Games journalists don't realize that the game shipped with easy mode. Because you could use the Bell Demon and you could use no Kuro's Charm to make the game much harder. And it'll be an experience. You'll realize just how bad at Sekiro you really are when you take away Kuro's Charm. I thought I was good at it. Super fast speed runs. Could basically do the game like near hitless without even trying. And no Kuro's Charm, wow, I'm actually not as good as I think I am. It was all ego. You don't like the Sekiro of... You don't like the setting of Sekiro? That's racist. Can't just say you don't like Japan, bro. That's illegal. Oh, give me that. No. Booty pound. Good fight. I was more disappointed with Sekiro because I wanted a new Tenchu game. See, that's where, like, false expectations could really just screw things up for you. You know, expecting something is a terrible thing. The terrible thing. It ruins everything. Because if you don't get what you expected, there's no enjoyment. Tenchu is terrible. I loved it. Chat is wild. The internet in general it's the Wild West. It's the Wild West. Yo, the balanced paw. BB. Am I the BB, or is Bloodborne the BB? Or is Adam Cole the BB? I've been rewatching Lost while I work and forgot how melodramatic it is. Really cracks me up. Melodramatic. Why Bloodborne instead of Sekiro? I'm playing Bloodborne and then I'm playing Sekiro. I only like to play games in chronological order. It would just seem weird to play Sekiro and then go down to Bloodborne. Chronologically. You got to do it in order. He was asking what he should play after Elden Ring. Someone said Bloodborne. Oh, well, then, see, that's not my fault. Because if you just ask something in chat, I'm going to assume you're asking me. I mean, I'm the star of the show. Me. You're talking to me.
What's that smell? The sweet blood.
Wow. Really hit him with that R1 spam there. People got to remember to tell them, Marcy. The damage. Oh, once you put 27%ers on your weapon, it's easy mode, man. You thought we were playing Bloodborne in hard mode today? No, 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 no. Last time we played, we did an all trophies run. Today, nice and chill. I don't need that. Don't need it at all. What is this long black screen? Dude. Ruining my speedrun times. Has Zeus ever done a max new game plus no gems run? Yeah, I've done that. You need a few more Mensis cages? Don't worry, we'll get one more today. The gems that add the most damage today also have the least amount of durability. 2 of them have my durability lessened. 1 of them increases my stamina costs. The durability down is the most common curse, I'd say, attached to a gem, so you're more likely to get those. I don't even think Zeus knows what he's done and hasn't at this point. He just assumes he's done it all. Yeah, I mean, I've done everything. Except for, like, a torch run, because it's stupid. I've done everything. Go look up the video. If it's not there, I just forgot to upload it. Increased stamina cost is the best curse, I think. I mean, honestly, no. Like, the durability down is the best curse. Because it doesn't negatively hinder you at all. You know? Now, with that said, you have a bajillion amounts of stamina. But, you know, if you have 3, like, 2.5 stamina costs, that's gonna take away a hit or two from whatever attacks you're spamming. So that's less damage. Whereas the durability down, what's the cost? You got to go back to the dream every now and then, right? And just repair it. That's not really a big deal. Feels weird seeing all these iframes after all my hours in Dark Souls 2. Adaptability. Why level it up? You have all stamina increase gems, and I don't notice a difference? Well, that's because you're not the blood god, and you don't notice small details like I would. If I'm going through the game slow, then the durability really becomes a nightmare, but if I'm boss rushing, it's not really a problem. That's a good point. That's a good point. Never level ADP, just follow the game facts guide. You know, I played Dark Souls 2 so many times before I even knew that ADP was affecting your iframes. I had no idea. Is this a speed run? Yes, it's a max new game speed run that I might stop speeding through because I want to talk about something. It'd be nice if we could just mass sell blood gems. The inventory for blood gems could use some work. You're right about that. I don't know if a sell all is gonna fix the problem though. Hey. Scooch. The soundtrack is just so damn good. It just when it hits. There should be nightclubs and stuff where they play Bloodborne choir music. So all of us can go out and have fun. Instead of listening to all the garbage popular music, there should be like a choir, some headbanging violinists, a French horn here and there. That's what I want. Ive would go there. Ive would go there too. The amount of times I got killed while in the boss fog to Smelter Demon. No Taylor Swift. I'll never say a disparaging word about Tay-Tay. Never. Oh, and by the way, she was right about Kanye, wasn't she? What is the meaning of back-to-back? One right after the other. So I'm playing Bloodborne back-to-back. One right after the other. Bloodborne, then Sekiro. I didn't care for Magic Smelter Demon in the DLC. Magic Smelter Demon? I don't remember the magic. I know there's Red Smelter Demon, then there's Blue Smelter Demon, and then there's the rarely found super hidden Pink Smelter Demon. The pink one was my favorite. Deathrite Bird's impossible. Go check out my recent playthrough, man. I fought the Deathrite Bird, and it was a pretty good fight. I'll probably give you some tips if you watch it. Wait, Pink, where? You can find the Pink Smelter Demon right at the end of these ads. I'm kidding, I didn't run ads. But I will as soon as I can. You love the Deathbirds? Oh, me too. They remind me of Toy Story. Hey, Mr. Sprinkles. Can you imagine playing this game in VR? Oh, that's what I would want, man. Give me a VR version of this game.
Let us pray, let us wish to partake in communion. Let us partake in communion.
First person mod? Well, if you were to do it first person, that wouldn't... You would have to do something with the movement. Because it would be way too hard. Like, people might get motion sickness with the dashing and whatnot, and the rolling, obviously. So you'd have to do something a little bit different. With that said, you could just make yourself Lakitu, right? And just put the camera behind the player. You know, up from an angle, just like how it is. Squiggle. Squaggle. Nearly a perfect fight. She just tagged me. She just tagged me a little bit at the end there. SXS with the 2-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Glad you're enjoying the channel enough to resubscribe. Thank you so much. Zeus, you a fan of football? Oh, no. It's either... Listen. I'm an American. Football is the NFL. Football, F-U-T-B-O-L, that is soccer. I will not accept calling football soccer. It is football. Football. It sounds better anyway. And it's also baseball either. B-E-I-S-B-O-L. Football. Do you think Sekiro has good replayability? Oh yeah, so it's so good to replay. Sekiro's the game that you're gonna really want to master. Like if you enjoy high-level gameplay, Sekiro is perfect for you because mastery in the game is so fluid and amazing feeling. No other game really comes close. It makes you feel like a badass in like a Kurosawa film or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like all those like martial arts wild movies. If you play Sekiro and you're really good at it, you'll feel that good. What do you think about Dark Souls? Love Dark Souls. I think the series has had essentially 4 games in it, though. And I'm a little tired of the art style and the gameplay. And I think it's time that Dark Souls takes a little nap. But I love Dark Souls. Do you like survival games? I like the idea of survival games. Usually the gameplay is not what I like, though. Do you see Wolong is better than Sekiro? I don't want to put those kind of expectations on an upcoming game, man. Like, basically what you're asking me is is this game that's coming out, is it better than the second best game ever made in the history of humanity? And it's really hard for me to answer that. I don't know. If I play Wolong a bunch of times, I'll be able to hone that down for you. Wolong versus Neo 2, is it an improvement? I don't expect it to be. I expect it to be... The combat that I experienced in the gameplay, in the demo, I mean, was less complex than in Neo. Less complex. So just from a gameplay perspective, I'm not sure it'll be able to top it. But, you know, the bosses might just be that much better, you know? Who knows? Maybe the gameplay will synergize in a way that I wasn't able to really hone in on during my time with the demo. So, I really don't know. Your wish for Dark Souls to take a nap has been answered by the release of the upcoming Armored Core. That's, you know, that's kind of what I'm looking for, man. Make new games, right? If I'm looking at From Software, now I love every single From Software game, including Dark Souls 2. I think it's a great game. It just happens to be my least favorite in the entire series. It's still better for me than most games out there. But the games that I've really enjoyed have been Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. The other games, I love them. They're great games. But I like the new IPs, because they put me into a different world. They require me to learn something new. The 3 Dark Souls games and Dark Souls 4, they're very similar. They're very similar. Listen, Elden Ring's a great game, man, but it's Dark Souls gameplay, you know? It just has a more, it has the ability to spam the jump attack, and you have customizable weapon arts. Like, but it's Dark Souls. It's essentially Dark Souls. Turtle Bear with the 8-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Turtle Bear. Sorry my subscriptions are not continuous. I don't use Twitch, but I like to give you my Prime when I remember. Your YouTube videos are keeping me entertained on sleepless nights with my 2-month-old son. You're the best. Keep it up. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me. Your high bar on video games limit your options so much? No. My high bar on video games makes it so that I don't waste my time playing things that I don't think have any reason to be played. So I could spend my time with my dog, or with Hera, or reading a book, or something like that. It's, to me, playing certain games would just be a waste of time. I'm the person in the video game industry that thinks the video game industry needs to be a lot better. A lot better. Shocks a Jew with the 5-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks so much, Shocks. I understand most people feeling that way, but for someone like me who's a fantasy genre junkie, it's the ultimate game for me. though Bloodborne is unparalleled in terms of atmosphere. And see, you understand what I'm saying though, right? Bloodborne just does a few things different. And Elden Ring, I think, to be the penultimate Dark Souls experience. It's the best version of Dark Souls. But just Bloodborne and Sekiro, they just do more for me combat-wise and boss-wise, normal enemy-wise than Elden Ring does. Now, Elden Ring has some sick bosses, and Elden Ring is sick. It's, I'm not discrediting it, but for me, Elden Ring has problems, whereas Bloodborne and Sekiro are as close to perfect as I've seen. Elden Ring is too big for its own good. It has way too many repeat bosses. That snow section is just godly gigantic for no reason, and it has a few bosses that are just awful to fight universally. Like, most people think there's a few bosses in that game that are awful to fight. And Bloodborne and Sekiro don't have bosses like that are legitimately tedious. And that's why I rate Bloodborne and Sekiro better than Elden Ring. But again, we're splitting hairs here. Like, I think Elden Ring is one of the best games ever made, right? We're talking at the high end of criticism here. But there'll be people on my YouTube saying, "Oh my God, he's ignorant. You think that Bloodborne is better? Oh my God, what a dumbass!" I'm explaining myself eloquently, and if you listen to what I'm saying, you probably can understand my point of view. Zings with the 5-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thank you so much, Zings. If Bloodborne and Sekiro is a 10 out of 10, Elden Ring is at worst a 9 out of 10. And that's what I'm saying. You're not allowed to have criticisms of the year. It's so weird to me that someone would have lacked the ironic situational awareness to criticize me for thinking something that is an opposite to them. I mean, that's the discussion. I think Bloodborne is better. You think this game is better. That's the discussion. How could you think that we're both idiots? That one of us is an idiot. We're both saying opposite sides of the thing. At the end of the day, none of these games will ever beat Hollow Knight. That is a timeout. That is 60 seconds of ads. That guy's an idiot. That guy is, wow, what a moron. Oh my God. What a dumbass. Zeus, you're hypocritical. Yeah, you're goddamn right I'm hypocritical. I'm the motherfracking blood god, dumbasses. You're stupid human beings. My opinions are better than yours. Don't you get it? Meow. Ooh, toasty. Meow. Oh, dude, he tried pummeling me with that mace. I was almost pummeled. Saying Elden Ring has more flaws than Dark Souls 2 is also very interesting. It is very interesting because Elden Ring, it looks better, it plays better, has better bosses, better enemies, better levels, all than Dark Souls 2, and is quite literally the sequel to Dark Souls 2. DS3 is the sequel to Dark Souls, Elden Ring is the sequel to Dark Souls 2. Elden Ring's flaws are basically the same flaws as DS2's. You're saying both have the most flaws? Totally agreed. When was the last time you got some quality squats in? Actually, a couple days ago we got some good ones in. Should you buy Dark Souls or DS2? Yeah. I mean, play both eventually. Whichever one. If you want to play a bigger game, like a big RPG, play DS2. If you want to play a more tight-knit experience that's still fairly large, play Dark Souls. You should probably play the first Dark Souls first. But you've already played everything else, so it doesn't really matter. That was great. Yeah, what are you gonna do? What's ATP? It's ADP, adaptability. It's a stat in Dark Souls 2, which is tied to your, like, item using speed as well as your iframes. It's an awful stat. It's absolutely awful. Yeah, it is essentially agility. Hey, Miss Latina, how's it going? Oh, I got that stagger in. The one cycle, the champion that I am. Principesa. There she is. This is the Amygdalan arm. I almost said worm. I didn't play Dark Souls 2, but Elden Ring is your least favorite? Yo, Foul Tarnished with the 3-month resubscription. Thanks, Foul. Hey, Tim Tom. Sekiro's your favorite game probably ever? Well, you're in the right spot. I love that game. I say it all the time. I just wish more people loved Sekiro as much as I love Sekiro. I think I have full of these. Oh, no, I don't. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh, it's magic. You know. Currently playing Sekiro, and it's a blast. It's gonna be my favorite FromSoft game. But man, the camera sucks. The camera sucks? Or do you suck? I fought the purple ninja dude when you start the game. Get good. Sekiro's too tough for you? No, you just have a confidence problem, unfortunately. Sekiro is not too tough for you. You're a human being with a human brain. Sekiro is actually a fairly easy game once you understand the core mechanics and you practice a bit. It does present difficulty, absolutely. But you are getting in your own way, good sir. You're getting in your own way. He could have crippled hands, though. I mean, if he said Sekiro's too hard for me because I have, you know, no operation of my fingers, I mean, yeah, like, I'd probably say, yeah, that seems really hard. But that's not the conversation, dude. That's not the conversation. The first general was brutal for me, but after correcting out of my mistakes, it's all good now. Dude, I was so bad at Sekiro before I figured out how to play the game. So bad at it. Zamirex with the 5-month resubscription. Thanks, Zamirex. Much love from Brazil, best player of Bloodborne. How's it going? Love how Sekiro punishes Dark Souls playstyles. Yes. Sekiro is great because it takes the exact same From Software combat, but it changes the values. Right? It gives you less iframes on dodges. So when you press circle in Bloodborne versus pressing circle in Sekiro, Bloodborne is more lenient, right? But when you press the parry button in Bloodborne versus the parry button in Sekiro, Sekiro is more lenient. And also they give you an added ability. They take away the massive damage you get from parries because let's be real, a parry in Bloodborne makes you able to cheese a lot of things. One hit with a upgraded skill level does an insane amount of damage, right? Sekiro takes that away from you, but it gives you the ability to parry things sequentially. Same gameplay, different values in the code, completely different experience. That is not a good, no, oh my God, that frenzy bar, that is not gonna work, my dude. Hold on, let's get some sedatives, or spend some insight here. Jesus, that's not gonna work. you take too much damage in Sekiro. No, you take too little damage in Dark Souls. See, that's where I can tell that you're not very good. And I'm not trying to like demean you or anything. It's just a matter of fact. I can't help but be factual. But the Dark Souls games and even Bloodborne allow you to use the RPG mechanics to get through the game. Meaning you can get your character leveled up to the point and your weapon damage leveled up to the point where you can essentially just trade hits. So you get hit, you hit the enemy, you heal. You get hit, you hit the enemy, you heal. And you just do that and you beat the game solely on that ability. And you're not good at the game. Like intrinsically, you beat the game because the game allows you to do that because it's an RPG, but you're not actually displaying skill. You're using the RPG mechanics to get through the game. And so many people, listen, my first many attempts in Souls games and Demon Souls, I quit Demon Souls. It was so hard the first time I played it, right? I've been there, but I know the difference between just getting through the game and actually being good at the game. Sekiro is more difficult intrinsically than the other games because there's only really a certain amount of leveling you can do. You know? Things like you can make certain bosses easier, like the early Hirata bosses, because you could go there later on, right? After you've done everything. But aside from that, you're gonna have a generally consistent experience in that game that everybody else has. And then on top of it, you could make it harder by getting rid of the easy mode item that you're given at the start of the game, Kuro's Charm. And you can make the game even harder with the Bell Demon. And then successive new game styles, and that's one of the aspects of Souls games that we all love, though, too. So you can play the game in easy mode, and you can play the game in hard mode, but it's your choice. It's your choice. And it's dynamic throughout your playstyle.
Ah, Kos. Or some say Cosm.
Oh, so you think you beat the game? Like Morpheus, dude. Leaning in on Neo. Is that air you think you're breathing? Yeah, I got the platinum in Sekiro finally. Let's agree that we're all in agreement with each other.
Oh, majestic!
Getting the platinum in Sekiro is time consuming. Yeah, it actually kind of requires that you play the game a lot for all those skill points. But if it was my game, I wouldn't give you the platinum trophy until you beat Sekiro on max new game with the Bell Demon, without Kuro's Charm, and not using a single buff. That would be my platinum trophy. Once you do that, you get the platinum. Ambrose Asylum with the 3-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks, Ambrose. Oh, Mitch, you know wrestling. Is there any word on, like, John Moxley? I don't know if that was a work or not. He actually looked, like, really screwed up to me last night. I don't know if you saw the episode. It's gotta be a work. It's just that his face was like, dude, if that was a work, he did that perfectly. He did he did that perfectly because he actually got me concerned. He actually got me really concerned. His face was all purple. He was kind of like twitching a little bit. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Obviously, it's professional wrestling, but you could never tell sometimes. You haven't seen Last Night's yet? Was gonna watch it while you played Sekiro? Wait. You're not gonna watch me play Sekiro? No!
Cosmos of Kos.
Dude, he's chasing me down!
Now I'm waking up. I'll forget everything.
That yell gets you every time? Oh, it's so good. Lots of people hate Mikolash in Bloodborne, but Mikolash is... He's probably the best memer in all of Soulsborne. No one memes better than him. Do you want to be an honest or likable game reviewer? I have made my career on Twitch letting everybody know that I will brutally review whatever I want. I am not likable in the least. You kidding me? I intentionally try to get people out of my channel. Torful Tough with the 15-month resubscription. Thanks, Torful. You should be able to respec freely in Sekiro to build and try to find your playstyle. A lot of you gamers really need to learn to make a decision and roll with it. Like, first off, in any playthrough, you could get pretty much every skill that you want. So I completely disagree that there needs to be a respec option because, you know, there's obviously there's gonna be a path that you miss probably, but outside of that, I don't really see the point. Make a decision. It's not called Specero. Not necessarily obvious to me, Zeus. You're very likable, respectable to me. I don't watch BSers. Well, that's the difference, man. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to the channel or if you've been subscribed to me for 7 years, right? It makes no difference to me. If you say something that I think is kind of stupid, like, I'll let you know about it. And, you know, after a certain amount of time of getting to know you, you can also call me on my BS too, right? That's how it works. But if you're new to the channel and the first thing you're gonna say to me is some sarcastic little stupid comment, that's not gonna fly, right? Your first interaction with somebody should never be sarcasm. That's not gonna work. Angel Sangari with the KO Ken ×5 gifted subscription, hitting me with a sub cannon straight to the solar plexus, you goddamn legend. Thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. To the man still playing my favorite game for years, thank you. This is the Amygdalan arm. You've legit never seen it? It's sick, isn't it? I'm playing my first time and it's out of the world amazing. Glad you're liking it. Who, what is Mensis and why is their brain not with them? I honestly don't feel like talking lore today, man. My ears bothering me a lot and I don't want to use my brain like that today. So ask me another day, all right? And I'll be happy to talk lore with you. I just don't feel like doing that right now. You wish this game was on Steam? I'm the opposite. I wish games were console exclusives and they never switched platforms. And I wish there were 4 or 5 different consoles out there that were all just made exclusive games and devs just focused on the console that they liked. That's what I wish. Right now we have 1 console and PC. Just like we have 2 political parties. Limit the choices, limit the options. There's 23 different flavors of bagels, though, right, George? Boy, was he right about absolutely everything. Who's George Carlin? Oh, please go watch George Carlin's commentary. Comedian Terry. Ooh, instant lawnmower! No! No, undodgeable, bro. The instant lawnmower. What's bothering you with your ears? I got COVID a couple months ago, and my ear hasn't popped since. You know, like when you take an airplane and there's like pressure differentials and you get that weird filling feeling in your ear. Yeah, I've been dealing with that for a while. I've been putting eardrops in it that cost me $350, but they're not working. And I'm starting to get irritated about it. Starting to get irritated. Today, it's like, yesterday and today, it's kind of getting worse. That's too much to pay for some drops. Yeah, welcome to the glory of the United States of America, where American citizens pay for the most amount of money for everything in the world because we're stupid. Have you done that shut the nose blow method? Oh yeah, that does not work, bro. It actually makes it worse. You lost taste and smell for 6 months because of COVID? I was in like the couple month area. It was hell. Oh, I believe it. That was the worst. Everything was tasteless. Oh, that was awful. Have you ever seen The Boys? Yeah, The Boys is pretty good. It's probably the only superhero show that I've been able to withstand. Because it's satirical. With that said, I don't think it's perfect. But at least it's a little bit of a more realistic approach to reality if superheroes existed. Invincible? I'm invincible. As long as she doesn't do instant lawnmower. Nobody could survive that. Hey Zeus, can you comment on how prices are rising in your city? Everything's more expensive. I thought I was doing well in life, like legitimately. I thought like, okay, I'm doing fairly well in life. And then all this inflation stuff hit and everything costs so much more money. And I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel that way at all anymore. Hey Love Mako, how's it going? The food costs double out of nowhere. I've been like, I go to, it's hard and now I can't do it in the winter, but there are a lot of farm markets and stuff around here. They're a lot cheaper. Like if you can, get out of the grocery store, get your meat from a butcher. It's better quality for like a less price. The big grocery stores are terrible. Go to the smaller places. Your car started to cost you $700 because of it. That's one thing. I'm able to save money. I don't even have a car. Hera has a car because she's got to drive to work. I got rid of my car a long time ago once I started streaming. In the UK, we're paying $6.50 a gallon for diesel. Diesel here is like $4.90. $4.90. Gas is like $3.19. Last I checked. You play video games in your home all day? What do you even need a car for? That's what I'm saying. I don't need it. I don't need it. There's no point to paying for that. Gas is more expensive up there than down here. Yeah, it's the New Jersey stupid tax. We're closer to all the big barrels of them, so we have to pay more. For some reason. Paletto, how's it going? Welcome in. In Quebec, diesel's $2.30 a liter. So that's... Ooh, man. So that would be, assuming the dollars are equal, 3.78. That would be $8.69 per gallon. $8.69. Damn. America looking real nice right now. Oof. Tax on gas in QC is insane. Yeah, that's... Phew. Let me ask you something. Do you get, like... Are electric cars super cheap? Like, do you at least... Because if they're taxing you high on gas and carbon, okay, environmentally I can make sense of that. But if you do the other stuff, the alternatives, do you save? Truckers over here are not happy. Yo, Knives with the 20-month resubscription. Thanks, dude. Hope you're doing well. Did you know there's a newish speedrun category for Neo 2 where it goes from new game to new game 4 in a single run? Do me a favor. Send me a clip of your favorite runner doing it into a Twitch whisper. Or just send me the video in general. I'll check it out. Electric cars don't have an advantage. I mean, that just doesn't make sense economically. I don't know. I'm not an economist, though, so what do I know? And U.S. still complains because none of you have a frame of reference to anything of the U.S. So I don't have a frame, even though we're discussing global gas prices right now in my channel. I'm an American, but still, none of us have a frame of reference. Right. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. American education not looking so bad right now. I think someone needs an ad. Link's been sent. Thanks, dude. Literally people seeking knowledge, but yet we're dumb. Yeah, like my channel's super international, and I often ask you guys questions like this so I can understand what everybody else is, how everybody else is doing around the world. And it's not just me who does this either. I mean, damn getting bullied. You're the one that generalized a country of 300 million people. And when you did it, you got checked for it, and now you're crying. Aww. He's getting bullied. I'm a big bully. I'm so mean. Someone disagreed with me. Getting bullied internationally. Diesel in Australia is $2.20 to $2.50 a liter. I live in California. I hate when people generalize the whole of California like it's the most populated state in the country. Yeah, so it's like when people generalize California, they're talking about LA, right? They don't even realize that California is it's the 5th largest economy in the world, right? LA sucks though. Ooh, Jesus. I'm dead. All right, let's group them up. Let's group them up. Come on. Get them all together and then hit them with the wiggle waggle. Oh, got some risky business here.
Działa do tego nie prockier frotopaskie nie dobrenie health sliva. Bryskin jest do nie.
You enjoyed Northern California as a vacation? Yeah, I've never been up there. I'd like to go. Do you remember the feeling of smooth, unshaven skin? Yeah, I mean, I felt that with your mom last night. She's got a nice, smooth area right below the tummy. Well, she is dead. My dick did it again. Oh, this always happens. I'll send you guys some flowers. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Zeus is a literal lady killer. No, that is not what the word literally means. That's an ad. We were joking, blog. You can't actually call me a lady killer. Zeus is wanted for murder in 6 states. I think it's up to 7. 7. His mom's dead, his girlfriend goes to a different school, and an uncle works at Nintendo. Zeus, are you married? No, but I've had a partner for years and years and years and years. Repair. I already did that. Where am I going? I guess I can go to the Forbidden Woods right now. Don't bring up the M word around here. Get out of here with your stupid human traditions. Ugh. Do you have children? Not recently. Don't feel bad? Just kidding. Oh, I would not feel bad at all. Not at all. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. I'm what's called an a-hole. I do not care. Zeus had kids, but he ate them to ingest their power. You got it wrong, bro. You got it wrong. How old is Zeus? 5007. Zeus Reeve? Keanu's only a few hundred. If Zeus is only 5007, he's younger than Judaism at least. Listen, man, I'm a fourth dimensional time traveling demon. Okay, just because I've been alive 5007 years doesn't mean the first instance of my exposure to humanity was exactly 5007 years ago. So it's always hard explaining the concept of space-time to a human being, but some of you get it. Only his earthly body is 5007. Well, this human host is not even close. Different place, different name, different body. Very similar, though. All the same beard. The beard of Zeus. You never said space-time was involved? Well, when I say I'm a fourth-dimensional time-traveling demon, what does that mean to you? You think it's a joke? Spend some time as peach yogurt. Yo, Rubber Cow, good morning. Starting to get hungry already. It's only lunch. It's not even lunchtime though. It's 11. What's for lunch today? I might try one of those factor meals. This run will be on YouTube? Maybe. I'll probably upload it. I mean, it's kind of chill, but might as well, right? Tomorrow we'll be uploading my 11-hour Elden Ring All Remembrances and Every Boss on the Way run. So there's a lot of content if you want that. My phone just got a signal. Yeah, this is the Amygdalan arm. The Kali with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome in. Thanks for that brand new sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you click on the link Mitch just posted, there is a 60% off coupon code. If you guys want to try out Factor, all you Americans. Wish I could try the Factor meals. Meow. Please no. Just heal up. Continue on. I never knew you had sponsors. I mean, I take sponsorships fairly infrequently because I only like to sponsor things that are at least in the realm of something that I would use or try out. So my sponsorships are few and far between. But Hera and I were thinking about trying this factor before they contacted me, so seemed like a good fit. Much like Shaq, he only shills for things he actually would use. He goes even further, but he can afford to really, really be stringent with it because of the amount of money he's made in his life. Whereas for me, you know, I will go outside of what I would actually use as long as it's in the same genre. Hey, Nat Attack. All right, this one's going to take a little bit of time. Sup, Zeus? Sup, chat? How's the stream going? It's going all right. How are you? Endurance is stacked. Oh, everything is stacked right now. Of course, one more hit. Couldn't get it done. Failure. If I don't find her soon, the other one's gonna respawn. Is this the easiest fight in Bloodborne? I'd say the Celestial Emissary is a bit easier, but yeah, it's definitely one of the two. Tickets! Tickets, please!
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip. With a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next thing that you know, you're seeing Octopus in the neighborhood, surfing on a sine wave, swinging through the stars. Take a left at human testing, take your second right past Mars on the magic scuba, alligator nostril. Climb on the magic scuba, spank a plankton too. On our magic scuba, stop the river of lava. On magic scuba, such a fine thing to do. So strap your bones right to the sea. Come on in and don't be shy. Just to make your day complete. You might get baked into a pie on the magic scuba. Step inside, it's a wild ride. Come on, ride on the magic scuba.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your ride on the Magic School Bus today. Blue Storm with the 14-month resubscription. Thanks for the bus pass. Shadow Wind with the ticket. Reptizzle, Good Guy Patches, Charles Zane, Mark J, Blog, Uber Willow, The Balanced Paw, Takali. Thank you so much for all the tickets and the subscriptions. Thank you guys. Best cutscene on Twitch, you know it. Yo, Ted7 with the $6 sacrifice. Thanks, Ted.
Ticket.
Nat Attack with the gifted subscription as well. Thank you. Zoos. After watching you play Elden Ring last week, I thought it was a good idea to play again. I could not have been more wrong. What's going on, dude? Listen, man, I'll say this. Elden Ring is very frustrating to go back to. But if you really start learning how to go so you're not wandering around, that's the key to enjoying Elden Ring more for me. Being able to just go through the areas faster, knowing the way, and just bypassing everything. Because the feeling of getting lost in Elden Ring, the first time you play it is amazing. Great open world experience. But on subsequent playthroughs, I definitely would prefer if I knew where I was going. Yo, the Fenwick Ghost with the gifted subscription. Thanks, Fenwick. Skip catacombs. Yep, there's definitely no reason to go in the catacombs. Unless you need, like, a very specific item in a specific one. I wouldn't venture in any of them for any reason. The Last of Us doesn't have any boss battles in it. I mean, they do, but it's not From Software boss battles. That's a different kind of game. Those are story games. Cutscenes worth a sub alone. I appreciate it. We do two things on this channel. We either like to have fun, or we like to yell belligerently and get really frustrated and pissed off. I'm nothing if I'm not self-aware. Azus, do you plan to revisit God of War? Now, why would you try to piss me off? I don't really plan on it, man. I really don't. That game blows. Listen, if they update it and let me skip the cutscenes, I'll play through. Just let me skip the cutscenes and all the. That's all I want. It's really all I want. Because I don't care about the story in the slightest. Let me play the game and we'll talk. That was awful. Ooh, I only have 7. That's probably not going to work, actually. Oh, well.
But the cutscenes are 75% of the game.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. I just want to play the game. I don't get why Wheelie Bro says he needs to save Ligarius. Oh, he's what I call blood racist. He just has come to the conclusion that the Vile Bloods, because they have a certain type of blood in them, they're inherently bad people. So they must be killed. It's Miyazaki's whole spin on H.P. Lovecraft, right? Because H.P. Lovecraft came up with the Cthulhu mythos, but he was a terrible racist. So Miyazaki's and From Software, they're playing on that with Alfred and Ligarius's quest line. What Amygdala is the next boss. I was mentally fatigued there for a second. Hey Cthulhu, how's it going? Speaking of the devil. Coffee. There's actually another cup of coffee downstairs that I need to drink. Okay. Well, should have just went the other way. I feel like every attempt besides that one was perfect. It's just not going over, bro. Okay. All right. Unpopular opinion, God of War Ragnarok is like a 7 maybe. Yeah, to me it's very hard for me to judge the game in totality. Because I haven't played it in totality. But for someone who likes gameplay, I can't even give it a 7, man. Because it hides the gameplay. You know, if you adapt to my view of what a video game is, it doesn't even qualify. It barely qualifies anyway. If I could skip the cutscenes and the dialogue sections, I'd rate the game fairly highly. But just the fact that you have to sit through that story, how am I supposed to play it? They let people skip the combat. I don't understand why you can't skip the story. The reviewers are scoring the story and not the gameplay. Absolutely. There's not many I don't know. There's not many reviewers who approach the game from a gameplay perspective these days. Just doesn't happen too much. I haven't played Lords of the Fallen, but Lords of the Fallen always looked super slow to me. And that's why I never tried it, because it seems like you're moving in slow motion. It's much slower than even as Dark Souls. It seems clunky, yeah. If I want a good story, I read a book. Exactly. There are a few video game stories that I think are very, very good, but literally a few. Just a few. That I've experienced anyway. staggered in the crotch. Second time. That crotch stagger is OP. Bloodborne's proof you don't need a whole bunch of stories and dialogue to have a good story. That's true. And you know what? I saw a tweet by Neil Drunkman, the guy who created the good story in The Last of Us and ruined the good story in The Last of Us by putting out The Last of Us 2. And he said he was really interested in like creating a game more like Elden Ring and its narrative art style. And its way of telling a story is very different. And that actually, hey, if you do that, Mr. Drunkman, I am perfectly fine to try it out. No, I mean Drunkman, because you had to have been so drunk to write the story that is The Last of Us 2, spend millions of dollars on it, and release it. The guy lost sobriety and needed help. That's what I've come to conclude. Have you managed to see the Abyss World trailer I've sent you? No, I haven't. I didn't check my messages. I will, though. Well, let's repair this. I guess we have the DLC left, and that's about it. Gehrman and the moon presence, too. Yeah, basically, if you were to belittle the entire narrative structure down, it's a commentary on revenge, and that revenge is bad, and you know, it doesn't satisfy the revenge in any meaningful way. If you want a better, more well-told revenge story, just watch The Northman. It's the same concept, but it's actually satisfying and allows you to question the motives and the reasons behind it, and gives you multiple perspectives to look at without being trifling in the slightest. And The Northman's not even the most amazing movie I've ever seen, and the story is actually, you know, it's pretty fairly simple, but I think it just fundamentally executes its intention much better. It's still on your watch list. Oh, I went the wrong way. Where am I going, dude? See, this is why we don't talk about The Last of Us. It's so bad it makes my brain stop functioning. That's an ad. Who brought it up? You really like The Northman? I did too. Robert Eggers is by far my favorite director. Like, seriously, he's just, his movies, he's got The Vivitch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman, right? I mean, he's 3 for 3 with me. He's 3 for 3. He's an artist. I respect the hell out of it. Everyone tells me to watch Northman, but I'm usually turned off by how we romanticize Vikings, ninjas, and such. Well, they went to painstaking detail to make things fairly accurate.
And their children forever true.
If that'll make you feel better about the movie. You think The Northman is cool, but not as interesting as his other works? The Lighthouse has better performances. The Lighthouse is his best work, in my opinion. The V-Vitch and The Northman, I think, are on the same level. They're very much their own films and abide by their own rules. But I do think the performances, acting, and the writing in The Lighthouse is I think it's just near flawless. Willem Dafoe is too good. Even Robert Pattinson acted very well in that movie. But Willem Dafoe was hark, Triton, hark. You don't generally like heavier films, but The Northman was worth a watch. What's your all-time favorite movie? That's hard for me, man. I don't. It really depends on the time. It's just hard for me to answer with favorite. It's not like Bloodborne. I think my perspective is that the top video games are far and beyond most of the rest of the competition. Whereas video games are very young, right? Relatively. Books have been around for a long... Writing in general has been around longer, but if we're just talking about novels... been around for a few hundred years. Movies have been around for about 100 years, right? And have developed. There's been a lot more time to develop these art mediums. So I think at the top level, there's the art is a lot closer, and it's a lot harder to split hairs between them. And in addition to that, I think those art mediums have persisted for so long that they've branched out completely different genres, much like video games have started to. But the time allows more cream to rise to the top. And I just don't think the video game industry is as artistic as it's pretending to be. I think a lot of video games today are business ventures. And I think the movie industry has gone down amazingly well as well. I think a lot of movies are just entertainment and business as well. But there were a period of at least a few decades with movies that I think that they were a very, very great art form. And it's harder for me to pick a favorite because different movies do different things. That's my issue with comparing books or games to movies. Games have only been around 35-ish years. And you know what does it too? It's a different, I call it metabolic rate, right? So you can think about it this way. You can sprint as fast as you can. You can run pretty fast for like, say, 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters, or you can run a marathon, 20 miles plus, right? Those are three different metabolic rates. I think pacing in books and movies oftentimes gets lost and people don't consider it because there's a big difference between a poem, a short story, and a novel. Those are three different metabolic rates, just like the sprint, the mid-range, and the marathon. Video games are very much the marathon. Just like novels are very much a marathon, but video games are even longer than books. So it's like an ultra marathon, like a 40-hour game versus an 8-hour book. You know, then you also have things like, say, Against the Day by Thomas Pynchon, Gravity's Rainbow, Infinite Jest, that are more video game length. Movies, when they adapt books, they take an 8, 10, 12-hour book and reduce it down to 2.5 hours. And it's very hard to do that. Now, you can do it, but at the cost of what? You're going to be missing out on a lot of detail. There are great adaptations, but the metabolic rate isn't consistent. So I'm actually a big fan of one-season series, right? Because TV series are much, much longer than novels. Sometimes they're too long, though. I think there needs to be, like, when people tell me, like, oh, Bloodborne would make a great movie, I think, no. Bloodborne would make a terrible movie. I think Bloodborne would also make a terrible TV show. But the appropriate metabolic rate for it would be a 12-episode, 1 hour per episode season. You could do it. Same thing with a book like Blood Meridian. A 2-hour, 3-hour movie would destroy that book. It would be awful. You couldn't do it. But if HBO put a few $100 million into a 12-episode, 1 hour long per episode series, I think it could do very well. Hey, Chapel Dweller, how's it going? First time watching live after watching on YouTube? Welcome in, man. Bloodborne movie, have we forgotten what happened to Resident Evil movies? I mean, I just sort of explained that I don't think a Bloodborne movie would work, but a one-season TV show would. As long as it had me on the project, of course. You think people listen? No, but I do get irritated when they don't. Damn Zeus, just explain the hell out of that. Every now and then I explain things fairly well. I like to think so anyway. Or at least I explain them in a way that's entertaining, you know? You guys would have to tell me that.
Please help us. An unsightly beast. A great terror looms. Ludwig Pickers is coming.
Zeus planing. I love Zeus splaining. It's the best. I Zeus splain everybody.
Have mercy. Have mercy upon us.
Nice try, Knives. You've trolled me better than that before. You must have just woken up. We'll try again. Zoink Donk with the 13-month resubscription. Thanks, Zoink. We get to listen to it more. So for years, I've been dealing with this goddamn idiot who keeps claiming that he owns the Ludwig music on my YouTube, which he obviously doesn't. So yeah, we're employing copyright strike measures against him. Really? Yeah. I can't get my Bloodborne videos accepted into the algorithm because every one of them gets copyright stricken. Oh, J-Bot! Oh my god. What is with the music, mod or manual? Now, there's nothing wrong with the music. This dude hits like a truck. He's got me with that same move. Like, he's done that same move when I'm right under him because I'm being stupid. That move is... Oh, it's rough. It's the dash attack? No, he jumps up, slams, slams again, and then slams again. I was playing like a doofus.
You were at my side all along.
I was almost on time.
Moonlight.
Is there an echo in this room? That was pretty sick. Next time I just gotta be a little bit later. A little bit later on the first phase.
Shrouded by night, but with steady stride.
Has the best soundtrack ever in video games. Oh, the Ludwig music mixed with the Ludwig fight and the Ludwig cutscenes is the best experience. Right? It for me, it's the best. If we're not, it's not gameplay only, okay? But if we're incorporating the music, the fight, the cutscene before and after with the gameplay mechanics and the visual spectacle with the room and the lore and everything, I don't know that anything really competes with that. You know what? Sometimes I admit when I'm wrong, and I think this elevator cutscene is probably better. Yep, this is better. I need a blue elixir. Well, I'm not gonna get one now. How about now? Yoink! Time for Maria? Well, we got one boss before Maria. We'll be there soon, though. You never understood how blue elixir works? It just makes enemies notice you a couple seconds later than they normally would. How I look at it, like from a lore perspective... Oh wait, hold on. I need to go down here. Let's see. Dubious liquid medicine used in strange experiments. Hunters able to retain consciousness by force of will make use of a secondary effect of this medicine, which dilutes their presence while standing still. So it's blue, which seems to me, now I'm going to speculate here, but in Bloodborne, you have quicksilver in your blood, right? Mercury in your blood. Liquid metal in your blood. So the way to get like a light blue solution in metallurgy would be to take, like, say, like some sort of acid. What's the acid that dissolves metal? It's like nitric acid or something? It would take nitric acid, put it in a whole bunch of metal. If there's copper in it, it would turn blue, right? And it burns off or evaporates the metal, which, if you have metal in your blood, leads to that translucent sort of evaporation effect that happens to you. That's how I sort of rationalize it. Don't know if that's what they were intending or not. Music on. Oh, was I Zeus-splaining again? Copper turns green. Copper turns green when it oxidizes it. But if you were, say, like you were trying to extract gold from an amalgam, like a bar of gold, a bar of metal. It had tons of metals in it, but it also had gold. So you would try to get rid of the copper first. And copper being dissolved in an acid is blue. It's light blue. At least a nitric acid. Ooh, I could have died right there. Does this weapon maintain the beast blood thing? Yeah, you can build up meter with it with trick attacks fairly well. This track's a banger. Oh, I love this track too. Some copper salts make a blue solution in water. There you go. It's almost like I'm semi-knowledgeable about some things. some things, semi-knowledgeable. Do you prefer when second and third phases of bosses are similar but upgraded versions of previous phases, or when they're an entirely different fight? So preference, honestly, I like both. I like both. I want different types of both those kinds of bosses. I don't really prefer one or the other, I would say. But it's probably more fantastical to have a second phase that at least visually gives you a more dynamic experience. But I could go with either, honestly. You feel like the living failures are underwhelming? I mean, they're not the most visually impressive boss, but in terms of a multi-boss mitigation fight, I think they're one of the best. I mean, Shadows of Yharnam to me is the best. Living Failures is number 2. You know, something like Deacons of the Deep I think is awful. I don't think Rom's fight is very good. Phalanx or stuff like that. If Celestial Emissary is not good, but Shadows of Yharnam and Living Failures I think do a phenomenal job. Abyss Watchers is probably number maybe, now that I'm like thinking about it, it's probably number 3 for me. I think Abyss Watchers is good. I think it's good. If you compare it to DS2, the gang fights are pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Twin Demons is a phenomenal duo fight. I have a major complaint with that fight though, and that's in the first phase. Sometimes they just hit through each other. They go inside each other. They really should have made it so that those bosses couldn't be within each other's physical space. I don't understand why video games haven't fixed that problem yet. I really don't get it. Bosses and enemies shouldn't be able to go inside one another. It's one major flaw in every From Software game. They never will? That's not true. Keep complaining about it. I'm the only person that complains about it, so devs see no reason in doing it. Manus versus Artorias. I go with Manus because Manus was the start of Bloodborne. Manus is the most unique thing in Dark Souls, and it completely changed the Dark Souls formula from the boss perspective. You enjoy the Crucible Knight Leonidas Cat thing fight in Elden Ring? Well, the Crucible Knight kind of leaves you alone in the beginning, you know? So it is good. It's not bad. I don't mind it. But the 2v1s are different than, I'd say, 3v1s and 5v1s, though. I'm really talking about 3+ here. I think the 2v1 is a different dynamic than a 3. Want to know a secret? Sure. Lady Maria is the best Soulsborne fight for you? To me, it's not. I love Maria, but you see what I just did with her? Like, If you're good at the game, Maria actually poses very little difficulty. Usually. She can sneak up on you, don't get me wrong. It's not like she's not difficult. But relative to the constant pressure that Orphan of Kos will give you, she obviously tunes up in second phase. And third phase, you can't really stun her, but she doesn't have enough HP. All the whiffs. She's an awesome boss, though. Orphan almost made me rage quit the game. 10 out of 10 would fight again. So my controller, it is my controller. It is my controller. Because it just did that whole Elden Ring thing. Where it turned. Definitely is my controller. We've confirmed that now. The invisible flame screwed you over so many times. Yeah, the gas is invisible. It's burning you before you even realize it.
Black and white, blasphemous murders.
The Saw Cleaver is the best weapon in the game, period. Highest DPS. Quickest release point. Saw Cleaver or Spear. I think the charged R2 of the extended cleaver is better than the spears because it covers a wide angle. But outside of that, they're essentially the same weapon. Rakuyo for you would be the coolest weapon? Well, I can't argue with that, you know. I can't argue with that. I actually, I don't know. Coolest for me would be hard in Bloodborne. There's just so many. I mean, the Saw Cleaver is basic because, you know, we've all used it, but the Saw Cleaver's badass as hell. The Burial Blade, the Church Pick, the Kirk Hammer, the Holy Moonlight Sword in this game is the best version of it. The Chikage's sick, the Boom Hammer, the Whirligig Saw, the Ligarius Wheel, the Bloodletter, the Amygdalan Arm, the Beast Claw, the Kos Parasite. Jesus. I only skipped a few of them, right? Like, the Rider Palash, the Rifle Spear, the Stake Driver, the Tonitrus. I mean, the Beast Cutter's actually really awesome, too. Like, there's just a few that I don't really think are all that amazing, but they're still pretty much better than anything else. All incredibly different as well. Yeah, that's my main criticism of Dark Souls and Elden Ring games. Most of the weapons are just skins. They have the exact same moveset as other ones. Sure, they look cool. I don't mind different skins in the game for different weapon movesets, but you're just given more attacks in Bloodborne. More unique attacks. More different play styles. Not sure the differences with the Uncanny Cleaver compared to normal. There's normal, there's uncanny, and there's lost. All that changes are the gem slots. So Bloodborne has different shapes for gems, and you can only put certain shapes in certain slots. So it might be advantageous for you to use an uncanny or a lost version, so you can use a different shaped gem. and increase its damage output that way. So, like, you'll see I have over here the Ligarius's Lost Wheel because it has a different gem slot, which allows me to use different gems. It has that triangle. That's real neat. Yeah, it's good if you love min-maxing in games and farming. That stuff is all for you. But it's completely optional if you don't want to do it. I'm dead. Splonky Donkey with the 18-month resubscription. Thanks so much, Splonky. Booty slap. Booty slap. Shouldn't have gone for that one. Ooh, got the stagger at the right time, though. I'm gonna eat this pellet here. Go under that armpit. I'd really like to touch your armpit. If you're having difficulty with Lauren's, that triple swipe move, you want to learn how to dodge that perfectly. If you learn how to dodge that perfectly, your fights will go much smoother, I promise you. Oh, he fell on me. Crazy fight. Oh, it's one of the best fights ever, man. In terms of attack animations and variations, he's got 50 different attack combos he can hit you with. Pretty impressive. After playing Elden Ring, these fights feel like an eternity. God damn that easy mode game. Oh my god. I just wish that they made the game harder for everybody. You could play it in a game that makes it very difficult, but I just wish they made it harder for everybody. Accessibility is king though now. Everyone's got to be able to play the game. Alright, we got 3 bosses left. Gehrman, Moon Presence, and then Orphan of Kos. Originally it was more difficult. I know, King Bacon. I know. They nerfed the hell out of it. And I asked them not to, but they didn't listen to me. Oh, I'm dead. I just missed him there. Booty slap. Oh, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it. No! He exploded all over my face. Now he's gonna blow me. Oh, come on. Got him. He shot his load, I shot mine. Love the mod where you can play as the dude right there. Yeah, that one and the Maria one were some of my favorites. Scooch. Oh. Heal action. Scooch. I can't see. Bro, there's flowers. The flowers. Oh, okay. I was just a split second too early. When did they nerf him? They had a beta for the game where he just had a lot more health. Skyzark with the 15-month resubscription. Thanks, Skyzark. This boss is way too easy. I've always felt like Moon Presence should be a one-try, one-opportunity boss. If you die, you go into New Game Plus. If you win, you go into New Game Plus. You get a different ending depending on which. That's what I personally would have done. Because Moon Presence not being the strongest thing you fight is actually pretty necessary for the lore of the game. It's really necessary for the lore of the game. Would you hold on to it or just let it sit? Bro, would you capture it? Would you capture it? You are excused. There's spaghetti in your spaghetti already. It's spaghetti. Your character looks so sick today. I love the dangling balls. That's my favorite. I mean sacks. The dangling sacks of balls. Sorry, I misspoke. The jiggling balls. Sacks. Ball sacks. I don't mean what you think I mean. It's just there's sacks of like eyeballs. It's Bloodborne. It's all about eyes. Okay, I literally have ball sacks. They're eyeball sacks. Stop it. Petition to port Bloodborne to PC? No, absolutely not. If Bloodborne's getting a remake, Bluepoint is doing it, and it's going to be a PS5 exclusive. Absolutely not. I don't want this game in, like, Unreal Engine 5. Don't you take this away from me? No, it'll look better on PS5. It'll look better. It'll play better. How does Unreal Engine 6 sound then? Even worse. It would look and play even better on PC? That is not true. Definitely not. Damn, the triple pump, huh? PS5's a powerful machine, but it still can't compete with high-end PCs. There is not a single game on the planet that has the graphical detail that I've seen on the Demon Souls remake. Not one. Not one. And also, you can't use haptic feedback and adaptive triggers on PC. So, got you there too. Also, $500 versus $3,000. You're right. It's not true anymore, man. I mean, I've got a super built PC coming, so I like both, right? But the PS5 architecture is just doing things that PC's not right now. What haptic would you want in a remake? Well, if we're talking, think about it this way. Now, this isn't going to happen, right? But think about altering the trick attacks based on, like, how far down you press the trigger. Things like that. Say you have this attack, right? You might be able to, like, use your haptics to maybe alter the direction of those, stuff like that. I still maintain I don't like Blue Point remakes. All right, we're gonna run some ads for that. Yeah, we're gonna run some ads for that. Doesn't like Blue Point remakes. Okay. This is the Amygdalan arm. Here, I'll show you guys. So untricked, R1 spam. Here's the R2. Here's the charge R2. Follow up R2. There's a jump attack. Backstep R1. Backstep R2. In tricked. Here's R1 spam. Here's an R2. And here's a charged R2. Jump attack. Jump R2, I mean. Jump R1. There's no jump R1. This is an Elden Ring. Backstep R1. Backstep R2. There you go. Such a diverse moveset? Yeah. This makes me want to change weapons. Been enjoying how ridiculous the Whirligig Saw is. You always gotta play with the Whirligig Saw at least once because it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But there are definitely weapons that are harder and more fun to master. And you also have the trick attacks, which I didn't do. So R1, L1, L1, L1. That makes me want to change weapons. Do it. I literally just read that, but I read it again. Love weird weapons like that. Yeah, it's sick. What weapon would you suggest next time? I mean, use this weapon. You might not have good enough gems for it, but it's like it might be difficult, but it'd be pretty fun. If you want a really difficult run, do a Kos Parasite with the Milkweed rune. But that's just hilarious. Beast Claw's amazing to use. Bloodletter's really cool to use. Ligarius Wheel, hard but satisfying. Boomhammer with some decent arcane or fire gems is really fun. Chikage, Holy Moonlight Sword, Church Pick, Burial Blade. There's so many, man. You can't go wrong. Each of those weapons that I mentioned have a really unique moveset, though. So I'd recommend picking up a bunch, trying them out, and just seeing whichever one feels good. Oh, that quick attack, bro. He just smacked me. This is not a saw cleaver, Zeus. This is not a saw cleaver. I want to start this fight over. Come here. I am the master, Orphan, Bader. Take two. The master, Orphan, Bader. Watch, I'm gonna bait him again. Baited. You just got master baited. Ginyu pose. That was rough. Also, the transform back move. How metal is this? Ah, come on. That's so good.
Sweet child of Kos, returned to the ocean. A bottomless curse, a bottomless sea, accepting of all that there is